you guys, welcome back to the channel. It is Sue here, your esoteric empress, and today we're going to do some discussion of the morning glory plant. Many of you know this plant, have seen it in rich abundance nearly everywhere. It grows in areas between wetlands and basically where the dry land meets the wetland. And so this plant, as we know growing up, you may or may not have heard, it is one of those things that it's like it lives for a day and it goes to sleep and it comes to life again, at least the flower of it. It's beautiful and it's actually like one of the wonderful sights to see in the morning and basically in the morning sun. So today we're going to talk about the spiritual uses of morning glories, how you can use it in your magical practice. Many of us have seen it, but we don't know or may not be sure of how to use it on a different level, besides just looking at it from the aesthetic approach, using it, practical use of the morning glory flower or plant. So today we're going to talk about 9 ways that you can use morning glory. And at any point in this video, I definitely suggest you give it a thumbs up if you like, of course, and subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to also hit the notification bell, as that's the only way you're gonna know when I'm back with another great video. So you guys, let's get right into the video. The first way that you can use morning glories in your spiritual practice is to banish addiction. Morning glories have wonderful properties that help to drive away the urge of addiction. No matter what the addiction may be, it's still an addiction. So when you're using this morning glory for this purpose, you use one of your tarot cards, particularly the devil card in the tarot deck. This is something that is associated with addiction. As you can tell by the image on that card, you can see it's like something binding someone to something, just as addiction usually does. So when you use this card, you surround it with fresh morning glories, just picked, and as you decide to quit your habit, because it definitely starts with the mental approach, you have to decide that you want to quit and then stop. But then you do this particular ritual, you may do it more than once if need be, and as those flowers start to wither or fade away, it is said that your cravings will also fade. This is a wonderful first way that you can use morning glories in your spiritual practice. The next use of morning glory plants is in bindings. Now, I have a video that was done a while back on the difference between banishing and bindings. However, this one we're using the morning glory plant for binding. So if you're not sure of which one it is, whether it's banishing or binding, you can look it up. You can refer back to my old videos. I will try to make sure put a link to the video so that you can, just go down low in the description or look at one of the end screens and find that video, or otherwise just search YouTube or Google and discover which is which would be more beneficial for your particular situation. So to make a puppet, you can actually use the morning glory vine. This time you're not using the flower, you're using the vine to wrap the puppet in. And this you wrap as tightly as possible without trying to break the vine. So you be gentle with as little effort, but just enough to make it as tight as you possibly can. And you're leaving this puppet in the waning moon for 8 full nights, according to whatever that is you're actually trying to achieve, and whatever other practical parts of this ritual you can perform, up to you. But 8 nights in the waning moon, because you're trying to wait until this phase of the moon this is usually when people do binding spells or even banishing during the waning moon. Another practical use of morning glories. The spirits in the woodlands, sometimes referred to as fairies, most people who are in the magical world would have heard about these entities. They love the majesty of this wonderful, beautiful, deeply purple plant. So you can leave the morning glories as an offering on your altar, Of course, if you want to, you can leave it in water, or this is going to help you also to find lost objects. So if there's something you can leave this also in the woods for the fairies or good helpful spirits to actually find their way to you. These are people who actually do, whether you practice Wicca, those are the people who usually associate with fairies and elementals of such. So this is definitely one good way that you can use morning glories. Another use is to open your crown chakra. So by pinning morning glories in your hair at your crown, during meditation, this actually helps to open your crown chakra. Visualize purple lights flowing from this flower down your body like a waterfall of sorts, straight from your crown, straight down, all the way to the root chakra. The imagery of this flower makes a focal point that is just beautiful and magical for your meditation. The fifth way, I believe, is for bridging the land between worlds. Morning glories tend to grow, like I said earlier in the video, between the space of wild land as well as cultivated land, sometimes wet land as well as, land that is dry and may just be deserted. So metaphysically speaking, this flower makes an excellent flower to use for actually bridging that gap between worlds. So you can place it in your sacred circle. If you cast circles, you can place it in your sacred circle to mark the transition between the two realms. The sixth use for morning glory is for astral travel as well as visions. So just like I said with bridging the gap between the two worlds, the morning glory flower is also used as a visionary herb. This is actually going to help with your intuition, your intuitive abilities. So adding morning glory seeds to a spell bag helps to enhance visions, as well as grow it by sleeping with the morning glories in your pillowcase. Some people already do this with other herbs. You can also incorporate morning glory into this practice to help with your clairvoyance and psychic abilities. Another use is renewing vows. Morning glories, as we know, you may or may not know, live a single day. They tend to fade away, and the next day they are as bright as ever. They come back full strength. So the constant process of death and rebirth symbolizes the evolution of love in relationships. So you can use morning glories in ceremonies to renew vows every year. You can use morning glories. This purpose is wonderful in actually symbolizing your ability to evolve as a couple. Morning glories also have been used while mourning. This also is somewhat of an offering that you can use during the mourning period over the grave of your loved one as a symbol of the fleeting nature of mortals in relationships. So it also reminds us that the pain usually fades and is always transformed and reborn into something new. Last but not least, the morning glory is also used to inspire persistence. The invasive nature of morning glories, seeing that they're like a weed, they tend to grow almost everywhere. It mimics the courage, the strength, and the tenacity of successful people who refuse to give up. Just like the vine, it symbolizes you vining your way into the sunlight, like pressing ever towards the light that's crowded with people who are trying to compete. So using this flower in spells helps you to overcome plateaus on the way to reaching your success in whatever goals you may have in mind. You guys, like I said before, morning glories, these are something that you can find almost everywhere or anywhere that there is dry land, sunlight, lots of sunlight, because they love sunlight. And they grow very easily. I remember one time I had some morning glory seeds. Even though morning glories grew all around me, I just purchased the seeds, and within less than 3 days they were fully sprouted and growing with hardly any care. And so this plant is wonderful to use in your spiritual practice. I would encourage you to incorporate them as early as you can, as soon as you can, and reap the benefits. So guys, there you have it. Those are the simple uses for morning glories. If you have any other way that you may have been using morning glories in your practice, do make sure to comment in the comment section below. And if you haven't done so, definitely like the video, and this is also going to help other people to see it who may not be sure how to use morning glories, because it's been a while. I was curious as to what can I do with these, because they're so abundant everywhere. I know that they have some purpose and meaning. So thank you guys for watching once again. Like I said, subscribe to the channel and make sure to hit the notification. And until I come back with a great new video, I'm going to say peace and love. Blessed be. Namaste, and bye for now.